Okay. I'm here, and Kubir, who is another community architect, he's with me, and the 3 community leaders. So this is our team, and the city is Jhenaidah. It is a secondary town in the southwestern part of Bangladesh, as you can see in the map, the red dot. And this is our team. We have a very big team. In our team, we have the municipality, the communities, low-income settlements, and the technical team, the architects from Co.Creation.Architects and POCA. Co-Creation.Architects is a local practice, and POCA is a national platform of volunteers who actually join us. And we got this seed from fund from the ACHR. And there was one local NGO who worked with us in the process. So it's our team. So this is the map of Jhenaidah, and the yellow border lines are the low-income settlements of Jhenaidah. So this is the network, low-income community network, and the communities, they actually did the profiling. I mean, they have all the database of their community, and they have developed this with the municipality and the technical team. So you can see the young people are very active. The girls are very active in the process. So the city has all the database of the settlements. And we often call it is a co-creation process. So this is a co-creation process of housing we are talking about today. And we have more or less 3 steps. So the communities get together by savings, and they plan together for the community, and then they build it. So how I'll show how we are involving. Like, the first step is mapping, because it's very important how we, the technical team, the architects, and the community is seeing their community. So it's a very fun process. And as you can see, we have the Mina Appa today, and Shorifa Appa, and also Shondhya Didi with us. And we did the mapping of the whole community. It actually, they belong the land, but their land size is very small. It's even sometimes smaller than 1 decimal. So the city, actually, the network decided that they want to build, start with this one, because they wanted to make a successful example. So first they did the mapping, and as you can see, Minapa's daughter, who was studying in college back then, I remember. So she helped us in developing the mapping. And the women were all active. It's mainly the women. And I was listening to Karina, and she was saying like how, like they were teaching how architects do things, like the skills transferring. So we were also doing that kind of thing. Like, they actually documented all the homesteads in proper scale. So this is done in a very fun way. They had this brick paper, and they measured each homestead they want to develop. And also, and they have everything in it, like every detail. They have the houses, then the cow shed, then the kitchen, and which plants and are where. Everything is documented. And they also documented the whole community, because they had 52 households among them. They selected like 20 households first for the first phase. And so they have this picture, and they also did the future planning, like where the drain would go in future and where the roads would go. So they had all the planning like this, and they color coded the houses and kitchen and how they would shift them. So they were seeing the whole community from there. And it was in 2015. So this is Mina Appa, she's with us, and she was showing us like what kind of houses she aspires. So we were surprised, like how with the budget, how come they built like this? But she said, like, I will build it incrementally. So if you go to her house now, you would see she has actually achieved this, like this big house. And when we started, it was smaller. So they were planning like 5 years, 10 years ahead. So it was very exciting for us. And then when they shared us the aspiration, the architects, we sat with the masons, and we worked with the community, like how to balance between the aspiration and their budget back then. So we were developing like that. And then they started building, like they worked for their own house. But as an architect, we didn't forget to like work with the aesthetic, because poor people's house, I mean, it shouldn't be, it should be beautiful as well. So we tried to incorporate that, and we also tried to adopt some of the low-cost technique like the filler slab, then the pivoted doors and windows. And you see the house in the right, and this is actually core house, and this is extendable, so it can be extended if they want. So we were planning like that. So in Mohishakundo, few people built one-storied houses, and few others, they actually built two-story houses. So it was a mix in the first community. Mohishakundo is the first community. Actually, like when the houses, they built the house, it was a physical change. If you can see the before and after, but we would like to add, like, other than the physical, only the physical changes, there was many social changes that happened, and the communities will be talking about that actually. And like, because many people started to come, because previously we have seen example in other Asian countries, like in Thailand, we were knowing from Thailand, Vietnam, but there was no such example in Bangladesh. So it was the first time that we tried to do like this. There were other examples, but it was a little bit different because the community had the power on the finance. So many people were coming, many young professionals were coming to learn, and many academia was coming, and different cities were coming to see how they are building this. So there was a lot of exchanges. So in Jhenaidah city, they built so far 38 houses with their own money, each 1,500 USD. And from the housing now, where they are like for 6 years, they have a very good cooperative now. They can exchange loan, and they have run their own business. And they have also developed, because housing was not generating money, and they thought of the women, we should have money, the power in our hands. So they had developed their cooperative business, and the new handicrafts, beautiful handicrafts, and they started to develop that, and converting the traditional stitches into modern products. So now they make laptop bags, and with recycled materials, with fabrics, etc. And the most powerful thing of this housing process, we always call it, it's a process, it was the finance model, because it was the thing that was empowering them. Like for in two communities, so far they have built houses, and the fund came from ACA, one from ACA project in community one, and the second one was Selavi. And the community one has built the houses in 2015, and they are revolving the fund into the citywide community network. And then the Selavi fund, they are also revolving it in a process in the network. So the others communities will eventually get the loan. And there were many times the city, many people got interested, and they wanted to fund privately. So the fund directly comes to the citywide network, and even when municipality wants to work, the fund goes to the citywide network as well. So we were thinking about the impact. The impact one is the social impact and the cooperative business, these all. And the other thing was, like, when the communities, the architects have seen, like, when the communities could plan and work in this co-creation process, then it gave us courage and encouragement, I think, to think about the city as well. So we thought, okay, if the community can plan their own community, the citizens can actually do it as well. So we started a citywide process in the urban planning. So the Jhenaidah city is now planning in a co-creation process, like involving people, the citizens. The city is doing their urban planning. So and there was a community architects network workshop here, and we developed how the city would look like. In that co-creation process of the city planning, the community, the low-income communities are taking lead now, because they have this experience of doing housing, and they're rethinking how their habitat would look like, how they would incorporate with the city's plan in the workshop, and they're taking lead, and they are presenting it in the city authority. So this housing process has put a seed into the city's heart, and now it's flourishing. It's the impact is even more than we can think of. I will ask the communities like, and I will translate what they say.
আমাদের কমিউনিটির আগে তো কেমন ছিল, আমাদের তো ঘর বাড়ি কিছুই ভালো ছিল না, এই যে ঝড় বৃষ্টি কত কিছু হতো, এখন তো অনেক পরিবর্তন এসছে, সেই সাথে ঘর বাড়ি করে আমাদের অনেক কিছু দিয়ে গেছে। তারপরে আমাদের সঞ্চয়, মেন হলো সঞ্চয় করে ধরেন যে আমাদের ভালো সঞ্চয় করতে পেরে আমরা কি হয় উন্নতি করতে পারি, কিরকম করে কি করতে পারি, এটাই আমাদের আরো ভালো হয়। আর আমাদের যে জরিপ যাকে বলে আর কি, জরিপটা যে কেন আগে করতে এসে আমাদের মনে হয়েছে কি করছে এগুলো কি, কিন্তু এগুলো যে কত উপকার, এই জরিপ না থাকলে এই যে আমাদের করোনায় যে কত উপকার হয়েছে, এই জরিপ থাকাতেই বুঝতে পারছি যে কত আমাদের উপকার আর কি। এরকম আর কি আমরা কত কিছু মানে নিজেরা আমরা মহিলারা অনেক কিছু শিখেছি যে কি করতে হয়, মহিলারা কিছু করতে হয়। আগে তো কিছুই বুঝতাম না যে মহিলারা মানে ঘরে বসে থাকতে হবে, পুরুষরা নিয়ে আসবে সেই আশায় মানে সেই ভরসা করে থাকা, কিন্তু না, শুধু পুরুষের বেশি না, আমরা এর ভিতরে থেকে বুঝতে পারছি যে মেয়েরাও কিছু করতে হবে। ব্যবসা বাণিজ্য কি করে, আমাদের পায়রার খামার আছে, মুরগির আছে, ছাগল হাঁস মুরগি, যে কোনো সেলাই বা এই সঞ্চয় করতে করতে সঞ্চয় থেকে হয়তো 10,000 5,000 আমাদের থাকলো, নিজে থাকলে একটা সেটাতে ধরেন যে আমি ভরসাও পাই যে না আরেকজনের, হ্যাঁ নিজের থাকলে আর কিছু বলা যায়, কিন্তু নিজের না থাকলে তো কিছুই আমি বলতেও পারবো না, কারোর সাথে কিছু করতে পারবো না।
She has mentioned two things, like how the community was before, and like it was the environment was not very nice, but now they have a better environment, so this is an empowering thing for them. And the other thing she has mentioned, which was the crucially it was a good change, was the savings group. Because through this group they could achieve a lot of the things, like the women can have their own earning, and because previously they were shy, they were in the house, but now they have the courage to do many things. And she also mentioned about the profiling, like I was talking about the database. It was very powerful because in COVID situation, when the lockdown started, it helped them a lot to understand like who is where and how many people. And yeah,
আমাদের এই যে বাড়িগুলো আমরা যখন করছি তখন কিন্তু আমরা কিছুই বুঝতে পারছিলাম না, এখন আমাদের কিন্তু খুব অনেক অভিজ্ঞতা হয়ে গেছে। আগে আমরা 1 লক্ষ টাকা দিয়ে বাড়ি করছি, কিন্তু 1 লক্ষ টাকা দিয়ে এখন কিন্তু মনে করলে এখন সবকিছুর দাম হয়ে গেছে, তবে এই হিসাবে এখন আমরা এতে মজবুত বাড়ি করতে পারবো অল্প টাকায়। কিন্তু আমাদের এখন যে অভিজ্ঞতা হয়েছে, কিন্তু আগে আমরা কিছুই বুঝতাম না, কারণ এখন আমরা যেমন পৌরসভা ব্র্যাক সবাই আমাদেরকে সহযোগিতা করে, সবার কাছে আমরা যাইতে পারি। আর আগে আমরা গড়তে নিয়ে কারোর সাথে একটা কথাই বলতে পারতাম না, আপনারা আসলেও কিন্তু আপনাদের সাথে কথা বলতে পারতাম না, লজ্জা করতো।
আমি একটু বলে নেই তাহলে। She mentioned two of the powerful things, like they have developed a skill of knowing like how the houses can be built, and now they can build it by themselves. They don't need the architects as well, because they can draw and they know how to plan. This is one thing. And another thing is they could connect with many authorities like the municipality and other NGOs. They have the they know how to negotiate now, so this is also powerful for them. আর কিছু বলতে চান তাহলে বলেন।
আমাদের যেরকম ধরেন যে এখন আমরা যেরকম শিখে গেছি, এখন লোকেও আমরা শিখা না, আমাদেরকেই সব জায়গায় কিন্তু আগে ডাকে যে না এত মানে আমাদের কাছ থেকেও শিখতে চাই সবাই, যে আপনারা আসতো বোঝেন তাহলে এইটা কিভাবে করেছেন, এই জায়গায় আমাদের খুব ভালো লাগে।
ঠিক আছে, তাহলে আমি এটা বলে
সব জায়গায় যে আসে আগেই আমাদের ডাকে।
আচ্ছা, তাহলে এইটা বলেই
বড় মনে হয়।
ঠিক আছে, এটা বলে আমি শেষ করে দিই আর and she mentioned like they have become since they know how to do things and how to run the savings group, they have become the teacher. So when a new community wants to build something, they actually invite them even in the city and out of the city. So she was expressing this is a powerful experience for them and they feel very good about it. Yeah, thank you. So this was from them. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you, Suhailey. Great to hear from the residents and to see firsthand the fact that it like building the houses is more than just building a home. It's changing people's lives. It's empowering women, and as you mentioned, they're teaching others, so they're spreading this model, and other people can benefit from it too. And it's really nice to see that, and very inspiring. So thank you for sharing, and thank you for inviting the 3 residents to share their how it's changed their lives, and it's really quite moving to see that. So thank you again.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We have a question from Karina.
I was just amazed with the last presentation from Bangladesh. I don't know how to pronounce her name.
Suhailey.
Suhailey. And I really would like to go there and meet you and the
please.
And the whole project. I hope we can do that someday. I was just wondering if you could say a little bit more about, like, when you say that why can't people plan their city as well if they can plan the houses? This transition from the housing to the community spaces, working with the community, because we work only with the houses, because I don't know, I think it's different, the engagement that people have when we're talking about their own homes, and then when we talk about public and common spaces, it's a bit different. I don't know if you could share about a little bit more about this. And congratulations.
Thank you. I think it was our hunch, like we were feeling, because the city we are living in, the scale is it's not a mega city, so it's very small and people know each other, very friendly, like when you go out you know everyone. So the scale was a big thing in the process. And yes, of course it was different, because in some part of the city people want something, in some other part of the city people want something. But that is the co-creation process, like it's not about like everyone would want the same thing, but when everyone is in the same platform, because the low-income communities are there, the rickshaw pullers are there, the authorities are there, the rich people are there. So they negotiate, and then they come to a conclusion, okay, so this is good for our city. So it was a hunch, like the citizens would actually can do that. We didn't add the other photographs of the city planning, and we started with different groups, like we started with the kids, how they see the city, how they would want their city, then with the low-income communities, then with the elderly women, elderly men. Everything was different. So the aspirations were coming, and as an architects, we were organizing their aspiration, and we were somewhere in bridging the authority and the people's dream. So we were continuously actually sharing with the authority, and in many occasions we actually sat in the municipality. So since we were with the city authority, the people also felt confident, like this something would happen, and amazing things actually happened after that, because the authority, like I give an example, like many of the people, they wanted river step in the confluence of the city in the river. We have one river going by, and we shared it with the authority, and the authority actually took it immediately, and they could find some funds from other sources, and they started building it. So once that happened, then everything just happened quickly after that. People had the aspiration of okay, let's say good pedestrian walkway. So we organized that, we designed that, and we shared with the authority, and they started to take the plan, because in this city, like me and Kabir, we are the only architects. So the city is also learning what architects can do, how architects see things. So yeah, from that transition, we are going there. And in some point, we felt like the low income community housing and the city planning, it's actually, it's not very different from each other. It's integrated. So yeah, that's how we are trying. And please do come if you have any chance to come to Bangladesh, do come to our office.
I really like the picture that you shared, Suhailey, of there was, you know, people who were holding up I guess a rendering, and there was so much green space. There were, you know, lots of trees and you know, looked like parks, and you know, there was a lot of green, which I'm, you know, I'm sure that in informal settlements, you know, there's not a lot of opportunity to have green space. So I think, you know, when you don't have something, you know, it's something that you really value. And so it was really nice to see that was, you know, that's what the community wanted.
Yes, because in many communities, like the spaces are limited. So they were focusing on the nearby, suppose there is a nearby pond. So they thought about how can we convert that pond into a public space. Yeah, so they were planning like what can be done. Yes, so the aspiration in the heart is similar, like the green spaces. Yeah.